Veterinarians at the Jurong Bird Park have successfully performed a feather transplant to help an injured changeable hawk eagle take flight again. It had been found with burnt feathers on its wings and tail earlier this month. Now, to help speed up its recovery, the vets carefully joined the remains of its damaged feathers with new ones. Dr. Ellen Rasidi, veterinarian at the Jurong Bird Park, joins us live now tonight for more on this story. Good evening, Dr. Rasidi. Why did your team choose to do the much more painstaking feather transplant on this bird instead of just letting them regrow naturally?
Hi, Dawn. So the bird was in otherwise good condition, except for its singed feathers. So feathers can take up to 12 months to naturally molt out and regrow. So potentially this bird would have had to wait 6 to 12 months in captivity, which was not ideal. So we elected to do this imping procedure, which is very similar to having fake nails or hair extensions put on. We just put on new feathers instead.
And Dr. Rasidi, these new feathers, was it a challenge trying to find the right kind of feathers? Because I imagine you can't just, say, use a peacock's feathers for this particular raptor.
No, we do try to, when we do an imping procedure, we do try to match the right species and the right age group as well. So we were lucky enough to have some of our colleagues find suitable donors for us. Unfortunately, these donors were birds who had met with misadventure, but fortunately they were able to help their fellow bird and to help him fly again. So they live on in that way.
Dr. Rasidi, tell us something about the procedure itself and some of the challenges that the vets faced to make sure that this transplant went as smoothly as it could.
Well, so we have to make sure that each feather is matched exactly. So a changeable hawk eagle has about 15 to 20 feathers on each wing. Each one of them is a slightly different shape. So we have to make sure we're matching the right donor feather to the right feather shaft on this particular bird. So we go one by one. We cut off the bird's original damaged feather just at the base, and we make sure that we cut the donor feather in exactly the same spot, and then we actually fix them together with a little satay stick or another sort of bamboo insert, and we use epoxy glue to make sure that they fit exactly right and that we get the angle correct as well. So it's quite important for the bird's flight ability to get the right feather in the right place and to get the right angle as well, which can be a bit tricky. It's a bit painstaking, and we did this over 50 times for each of the more than 50 plus feathers that needed to be replaced. So we had a big team. Our team was all together, making sure the feathers were clean, were laid out correctly, that we had everything that we needed, that the bird was stable under the anaesthetic for quite a long time. But we're really happy with the result, and then the bird flew off, and we couldn't ask for a better outcome.
Yeah, I didn't realise the satay stick had so many uses. But, you know, the raptor was found initially with burnt feathers to its wings and tail feathers. I'm wondering what caused that, you think, and does it have anything to do with the environmental stresses that these birds face in Singapore?
Yeah, so the bird was found by members of the public on Jurong Island, and they notified MParks. So MParks came to collect it and brought it to Jurong Bird Park for treatment, assessment and treatment. So I suspect that the feathers were probably singed by perhaps hot gas or flares down in the industrial area. Obviously, this is quite an intensive urban environment for these wildlife species to live in. They do face many challenges. They have to live in our urban environment every day. And I think we can help them just by making sure that we, first of all, keep an eye out for any birds in distress. And if you do, please contact MParks or ACRES so they can collect them and bring them in for treatment. But the other thing is to just be very, very mindful of how we impact the environment as well. You know, make sure you dispose of your trash correctly. Make sure you're not leaving anything out that could impact local wildlife. We did also, in the last year, have a white-bellied sea eagle that had caught fishing hooks in its wings, and that had then become entangled in a tree. So we've just got to be really mindful as to what we leave in our natural environment, try to minimise the impact on native wildlife. We do have quite a lot of wildlife in Singapore. We just need to be aware of it.
Seems so. Well, thanks very much, bird saver and veterinarian Dr. Ellen Rasidi from the Jurong Bird Park.